Brian Wright, Daily Beat 180. Understanding the limitations and the opportunity and the position in which you fit in your company. All right, it's Brian from BrianWright732.com, and that was a little bit of a mouthful in my intro. I paused a little bit because I was trying to find the words. I guess I didn't really prepare myself for where I'm going. But ownership is really important in whatever you do. Whatever position you're in, you have to take ownership of that position. And ownership means that you need to own your place, and then you have to own everything that's happening below you as well. So you take some responsibility. Because if you only own what you think is your thing, well, then you're giving too many things to chance with other people. And I'm not saying you have to micromanage people, but you constantly have to recognize the responsibility that you have to give the people below you what they need to be successful. So you don't have to be the manager, the president, the CEO, whatever, to have people below you. You could be at any level of a company. You could be, a sales associate that has stock workers below them. Which then would have cashiers below them or whatever, depending on what the hierarchy is. If you're truly on the bottom, then you just have to answer the people up above. But if you're somewhere else on the hierarchy, you have to understand that everyone below you is also your responsibility to take care of. If we can take care of the people below us, our jobs will be that much easier, and we'll have a lot less excuses and finger pointing and the bullshit that messes up the whole flow of our day. So for me, I'm the president of the company which I'm at, but I still have a CEO above me. And the challenges of my job are, I have a CEO who's run the company for 30 years. It's their company. They started it, they own it, they run it. They brought me in because the company's having challenges. Now, were they ready to deal with the challenges? That we're still trying to figure out, because I'm coming up with solutions and I'm trying to implement things. I can work with the people below me, but I still have someone above me, which means I have limitations in implementation. I have to get them to understand what it is I want to do before I can just pull the trigger and go. So I don't have a relationship with the CEO that allows me to just do whatever I want as I see fit. They still want to be able to approve the direction which we're going. And so for me, I have a great power struggle here where I know the direction we have to go, but I also have to be respectful of the history of the company, good or bad. A 30-year history is a 30-year history, and someone that's been in a business for 30 years, they have a certain way of doing things. And to tell them that their way is not working is hard for a lot of people to swallow. To tell them that you have to change the course of the business is difficult for people to understand or embrace. People like to do what they do. And when someone's been doing it for 30 years, it's the whole, old dog, new tricks mentality. So that's the power struggle I have. The people below me, it's not a problem because they listen to what I have to say. I also implement what I'm doing in a way where I provide the information. I include them in the entire process. They have a voice with me. It's a collaborative environment. I make sure that everyone understands what we're trying to achieve. I listen to what they have to say about achieving this, and we work together. Now, the person above me is a different story. I don't have that collaborative situation, so I have to fight a battle on two fronts, and then I work with a team on a third. So the people below me within the food chain in the company, we have a positive relationship where we've built a solid team. But then I have the customer front, which I call it a battle, but it's not really a battle, but the business is changing, so our relationship with the customer is changing. So in a lot of ways, we're battling our identity with a customer base we're trying to expand to. Then I have the other front, which is the CEO of the company, who I'm clearly battling with to understand the changes we have to make to get to the original goal, which was creating profits. So we're trying to create profits. I'm developing a team. I'm getting the CEO to back the play, and I'm getting the customers to understand the play. So that's the trick of this. I'm taking complete ownership for the decisions that I make and the decisions of everyone below me. That is clear. I shoulder the responsibility for all of it, everything I'm doing, and everything that's happening below me. I can't shoulder what's being done above me because I'm not making those decisions. And if those decisions are negatively impacting me and my ability to work with other people, I can't take responsibility for that. I will own mine, and I will own the people below me, but everyone has to do the same thing. So the battle there is getting the CEO to understand they have to own everything because they are the top. And then they have to work with me to change the course of things. So that's what I'm doing. And then when it comes to the customer side of it, again, it's the identity issue. So as we implement change, we have to maintain what the company stands for. We have to maintain the mechanisms in place that people have been used to. And then we have to expand upon that to give them what they're used to, quicker, faster, better, bigger, whatever. So if you look at a lot of things that are going on, there's a big shakeup in J. Crew. So the guy who is the CEO of J. Crew, Mickey, whatever, whose name's escaping me, he tried to change the culture of the company so great that the customer couldn't recognize it, and the company basically tanked. And they had to get a new CEO that would bring the company back to what it used to be, going on, we're talking 15 to 20 years ago now, providing a customer what they traditionally were used to. Same thing happened with J.C. Penney. They brought in the former CEO of Apple, who dramatically changed the entire company, and the customer said, but we've been a J.C. Penney customer for X amount of years. We're used to this level of service. We're used to coupons. We're used to promotions. We're used to what we're used to. We don't care that there's an iPad kiosk that's going to give us the ability to do whatever. They wanted what they wanted. So that's a big trick. So I'm in a position with a lot of change where I have to have continuity so that the brand does not morph into something that's unrecognizable, that customers are still comfortable, that the CEO is still comfortable, that the company that they created still has the identity that they created, and it's just being provided differently. I'm not going to say better or worse. The key here is not judging, it's being analytical and creating a system that generates profits while maintaining the identity, servicing the existing customer, and expanding to a bigger customer base so we can achieve those profits. So that's what my challenge is. And for you, I hope you just recognize that your place in the food chain is really, really important. Own your position. Own everything that's happening below you. Stop finger pointing and excuses and just say, it's my fault. Anything that's happening below you, anything that you're doing, if it goes wrong, it's on you. If it goes right, give the credit to everyone else. That's just the thing about leadership. If you're higher than other people, you're probably making more money and have more benefits. So don't take the credit. That will make them satisfied in the positions that they are. It's as simple as that. If you need a pat on the back, I don't know, you just shouldn't be in business or shouldn't be in leadership. I mean, we all want to be appreciated, but at the end of the day, our appreciation comes from the life that we get to create by our actions. So be happy with the life that you've created off your actions and give the credit to the people below you and allow them the opportunity to create the life for themselves as well. And if you're at mid-level on the food chain, the people above you should be giving you credit, but you don't want to take away the credit from the people below you. Give the credit to the people below, accept the credit from the people above, just move forward and do what you got to do. So that's the balance. That's ownership. That's just, vitally important if you want to generate a culture that's going to have a positive, cohesive, team-like situation. So that's my rant. This is Brian, and I am out.